Welcome to the Bailey Engineering website redesign using AI on some parts. So I'll show you what I did. Let's get the light in here. Woohoo! All right. So the first thing is ideation and concept. So I reviewed the current website. There was also, which is here, got some ideas with coloring, style, content that the owner would want to convey. It's a contact form here. Okay. And then they did have another redesign, and this is the redesign. So I just tried to see what was desirable and what was less desirable. It kind of has an odd header at the top. The navigation is down here. There's lots of pictures, but they're not very meaningful. Um, if you refresh it, there's a lot of movement, but for no purpose. So, see this? Lots of information, but not a lot of clarity. So what I did is I reviewed those. I reviewed some competing websites. I drafted a clear proposition for the website that it's basically local, trustworthy, and experienced. And then kind of an unstated proposition is that they're definitely interested in the future growth of the community. Then I defined a voice, brand, concise, technical, local, kind of things that they did want to touch and things they don't want to touch. Like they don't want to touch legal stuff. The next thing I moved on to planning and strategy. So the owner owns two companies, so I wanted to cross market those companies in the header, footer, and CTA. When it comes to the services, I wanted to frame what they do within a project phase for construction to help reduce customer confusion. I wanted to bring the projects to life with some visuals. And then on the contact page, um, they get a lot of back and forth when people want to quote. So I wanted to solve that problem. So that's a plan. And then I got into the design and prototyping. Um, so before we get there, this is the sites that we're working with. I had AI create a branding guide by evaluating the sites and best practices. So this was helpful because we're building all this information to get to the point where we're going to have another AI build the website. I'm going to start with Replit. So I'm just kind of giving it some guidance. Then I'm building a redesign overview. So, we want a modern mobile friendly web presence, clear navigation, strong project storytelling, and cross-selling between the owner's two companies. Um, there's going to be 4 core pages. We're also going to talk about how to connect the services to the project. And the goal is to build trust that converts visitors to inquiries. Then brand snapshot, website goals listed here, outcome, reference links. So I gave the prompt, the current site, the test site, competitors, and inspiration design. And page content notes. For the home, give it an idea for what the home, the project, services page, and the contact page should look like. And then here's the prompt. And what did that get us? So that got a really good layout, I thought. You can see the navigation is thin and clear. I had to do some work with the logo. This is a little deep, this blue area, but I kind of like it. So this was the Replit after about 5 or 6 interactions, but I wanted to improve it. So if you go to like projects, I ran into some problems and the spacing when trying to get it to play videos. So I just had it build an HTML, CSS version of the site, and then I uploaded it to some web space. And this is, just kind of compare. So now this, I downloaded all the files from Replit, and then I started working with ChatGPT and Midjourney. So I was like, hey, ChatGPT, build me a hero image here. It's an engineering company. I want it to be professional. And the background is actually Boise landscape, which is pretty cool. And then, give me a desk and an architect's office to represent kind of a civil engineering environment. And then give me the code from ChatGPT and put it in there. There's the final version. Services. Didn't do much work here except center the project phases. Projects. So then I used Midjourney to, this took a while to kind of get the prompt down for this, but I took the PDFs, I had to re-OCR the PDFs, then, because I was feeding the PDFs to ChatGPT and I couldn't get any information off them, so I had to re-OCR the PDFs. Then I had to say, hey, use this format and tell me what each of these projects are doing. So it grabbed all the work, the location, the lot size, the description. And then I took a screenshot of the first page of the preliminary plat, and then I went into Midjourney. Let's see here, Midjourney, and I fiddled around with trying to get an animation, something that made it more lively. So let's see here, create. You can see working with images, different prompts. The weirdest thing is I kept having it put palm trees in the video, so I went back to ChatGPT and said, hey, make me a Midjourney prompt that does not get me palm trees. So right here you can see starting to get a lot of palm trees and everything. Yeah, so then I put the video in here, but the video just kept looping. So then I had ChatGPT create a play button and style it and create padding. So now we have a visualization of some of the projects. I had to describe the camera angle to spin it. But yeah, there we go. And then contact form. So for the contact form, if you've ever had a contact form and you try to use mail relay, you can run into problems. So I use Green Forms, which is a form builder that you can host on your own web space. You just have to create a database and put the settings in there and spin it up. But the cool thing is the form creator is really simple, and then automatically you get logs. So if people make an entry and it doesn't make it to you, you can see it here. But I've never had it not make it to me. It has statistics and field analytics. So if I select the form, it can tell me what people are selecting when they enter the form. Very cool. So then here, the cool part is if they do request a quote, it asks them various information about the name, the project, the city and state, the project size, the budget, and the services that they would like, so that they get it all the first time and that the engineering company doesn't have to reply back several times asking for these details. And then when we're asking for when they want to start their date, thanks to Green Forms, I can't select a date within 30 days. So that makes it sets a customer expectation that the project's going to be at least 30 days out and that the completion date's going to be at least 90 days out because it's blocked there as well. And then they enter the details, they submit it. Oh, let me finish there. And also, it's very clear on which fields are required when you try to submit, and it actually scrolls you up to the error. And then we also want people to know we've received the request. We'll go back to them, and oh, by the way, if you're bored, you can play some Simon Says with the audio. So where does that leave us? So that's what we've completed. What we're ready to do now is now we're ready to put the files on the destination web server at baileengineering.com. I'll need to update some of the schema stuff, verify the addresses, some performance concerns, analytics, JSON validation, this JSON LD, which is for SEO purposes, and CSS minifying. So if this is a good template if you're don't do a lot of web design and you're like having ChatGPT do it for you. You can ask it, create me a plan. What are the things I should consider? So it can help you create it, and it can also help you evaluate it once you're done. So that's what I plan on doing, going back and saying, okay, the website is done. Help me do better. And then also I did, let's see, the Twitter card. See here. The Twitter card stuff. Let's see if I've got it. So view, people share it on social media. You want to make sure it comes up in a way that's easy for people to know what they're sharing. So that would be this section here. So let's test Open Graph. Okay. So this is a website, you put a URL in there and it will show you what it looks like when it gets shared. And here is what it looks like. I used Midjourney to combine the image of the owner and the AI office. So put the owner in the office, and now we've got a pretty cool image that's nice to share. Thanks for watching. Hope you find some of this helpful. If you have any questions, let me know.